Hello everybody, how are you guys? I hope you're all very safe and doing well in this virus-filled world. I know it's been a long time since I've last attempted YouTubing. Just very recently, about a few days ago, I was binging one of my favorite booktubers. It's Vanessa and her channel is called Paper Fairy, and she posts so regularly. She posts such beautiful videos regularly, unlike a certain someone. But yeah, seeing her made me think, hey wow, you know what? Maybe even I should, I don't know, just remove the cobwebs and take a look at my long neglected channel. So here I am back again. I have absolutely no script this time. I'm just going to ramble in front of the camera, so whatever you're hearing is just, I don't know, gibberish. Anyway, Vanessa's YouTube video kind of made me realize that it has been such a long time since I have last touched, I don't know, what's that thing called? A book? Like, I'm legit not kidding. I don't remember the last book I have read. Yeah, I think it was A Crown of Wishes. The point is, I haven't read a book in such a long time. Like, I do regularly consume stories, but it's just through another medium, aka anime. So I thought, hey, this is the time when I can actually start reliving or more like rediscovering how the feeling of, spending sleepless nights over a book is. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just make a list of books and read them this week. So for this vlog, I have a list of 3 books. And those are, the first one is The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which is an ancient book about like war and strategies and stuff. Second one is No Longer Human by Dazai Osamu. So basically I was interested in this particular book because of an anime, like one of my favorite animes called Bungo Stray Dogs. I actually started reading No Longer Human a few months back, but then I kind of gave up in the middle because it was so pessimistic, actually. I'll give you more deets on that later. But one of my friends started reading that, and I asked her how it was, and she was like, the third chapter, the third book of that particular novel is just pretty good. You have to read it. And I decided, you know what? I'll give it a second try. The final book would be something that I think I would take from my TBR, which is a pile of books actually. I haven't decided on it yet, so come along, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Which one do I have yet to read? I haven't read The Book Thief actually. It's been sitting on the corner of my bookshelf for such a long time. Uh, but I don't think I want something heavy. What's not heavy and something I haven't read before? You know what? I think I'll go with this. I haven't read this either, so whoops, sorry about that. Anyway, Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This bed that has been my shelter throughout the quarantine period is also going to be my reading space. Hey guys, I just finished reading No Longer Human by Dazai Osamu. Wow, that was something. As I said, I only read like the final chapter of that particular book. I mean, No Longer Human is divided into 3 parts called 3 notebooks. So they're like basically chapters, but extra long chapters. In short, it's just a book that would mess up with your perception of human beings. There are a lot of things that I would like to address when it comes to that book, but I think let's just save that for a later video. That's a possibility. Anyway, if you're curious to know what this book is and figure out whether it's for you or not, you can read a copy of that book which is on Wattpad, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below so you can check that out. But let me warn you ahead of time. No Longer Human is just, it's a very, very depressing book. But yeah, I guess that's the essence of the book. So it's just about this guy who has, it's a long monologue of a guy who has severe issues of anxiety and depression, I guess. So it's a look into the minds of people that we cannot understand. But anyway, one book down, two more to go. Today is day 2. So I had a very lengthy discussion with my friend about No Longer Human yesterday, and what exactly was the protagonist, who was Yozo, facing in that book, like what sort of things plagued him throughout his life. But I think I kind of finally understand what Yozo was going through when it comes to the book, because earlier I used to grapple, when I read the book, I used to grapple with the fact that I did not understand what was going through his mind. But now I think my friend has made me realize that he was just having extreme trust issues, anxiety, depression, and just an imposter syndrome. And there was also this fact that the author, the actual author of the book, Dazai Osamu, he committed suicide very shortly after this book was finished. So this is sort of like a will of his, which which is very tragic actually. And it's also like the second best-selling book in Japan. And my friend told me about this, and then I looked it up, and it was true. But my friend also told me that during the end of the book, like in the last chapter, you could basically hear um, the desperation in the author's voice when he's through the main character. So it's a haunting book. Anyway, today I will be reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu. So Sun Tzu is a Chinese general who wrote this book as a manual for a king in order to, conduct warfare. So it also has like a lot of lessons that can be applied to everyday life, and I want to read that, and I want to find out more about what this Chinese general had to offer to the world, which is why it became like a really famous book. So I have my book stand ready. Is it even called a book stand? I have no idea. But yeah, it has my Kindle in which I have Art of War downloaded. And I also have Six of Crows over here once I finish Art of War. So yeah. Humans are only divided into two categories. The ones who are normal and hate that creamy layer on top, and the other despicable half of human beings who eat it right in front of me. Just received a lecture from my grandma because I forgot to eat today, and apparently cookies and chai is not a lunch. So there is this one scratch in the middle of the Kindle that really annoys me, but apart from that, the book is quite amazing. It's very Slytherin in a way that it sounds like a Disney villain's monologue. You know, the one speech that he gives out to his minions to advise them. The book sounds exactly like that. Like, look at this. All warfare is based on deception. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feed disorder, and crush him. Okay, maybe that was too much. Okay, it's day 3, and well, I'm just about 35% in my book, unfortunately. It's because I actually started watching YouTube yesterday and found a really good anime edit, and then I just fell into this spiral of anime edits. So, so yeah, today's mission is just to finish Art of War. I haven't stepped out of my house since like the beginning of March. How long has it been? 3 months? Wait. Wait. 5.5? Are you kidding me? So it is day 4 and I just finished Sun Tzu's Art of War. So this book was basically a beginner's instruction manual to war strategy. It makes you really appreciate the techniques that are used for wars, like how do you attack, how do you defend, and what kind of calculations are used for it, how to predict who is going to win, who is going to lose. I would say this book is a must read for someone who wants to write or research about war. So if you want to download and read this book, it is available for free at projectgutenberg.org, where I got this from. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Check that out. But if you're interested in the lessons that this book can give you, I will also leave a link to a blog post where I actually encountered this book for the first time. And it contains about like 31 quotes, 31 of the best quotes from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. So you can check that out, and these quotes are very relevant today. Link in the description again. And finally, it's time for the third book, which is The Six of Crows. Let's see how many days I take to read this one. Hi guys, so it's like day 5 and can you hear the crows? So I'm like halfway through The Six of Crows, and well, it's a pretty well written fantasy. It has great world building and it's pretty detailed as well. So from the very beginning they introduced a lot of words off bat which I had no idea. So this book is more of like just hit the ground running. They kind of like start in the middle of the story where everybody knows everything, so it's kind of hard to find out what exactly certain words mean. But like with every fantasy, as you go on and read more and more about this, you come to understand lots of things and you realize what's happening in that world. So yeah, I hope to finish this by today, and I hope I'll be done with my goal. So let's begin day 5. I love the entire 17th century aesthetic that is going on in this book, and I also like the interior designs of the book. Look at this tiny little crow motif, and the chapter heads are also pretty good. And the paper is really matte and nice to hold. Like, these are small things that people who love reading physical copies of books will understand. And it smells amazing. Sniff, sniff. It smells so good. I just finished listening to this entire album and oh my god, it's amazing. It sounds like the music that you would play while you're trying to forget the misery of work on the background. And there are so many songs I really loved from this. I love The Mad Woman, Betty, I liked Illicit Affairs, Cardigan, August, even this one, Exile, Peace. They're all so good. I love them so much. You know, a book is good when once you finish it, you have no idea what to do with the rest of your life. I mean, that's also quarantine mood, I guess. I just finished The Six of Crows about like 2 to 3 hours ago, and after that I was just staring at the wall. It felt like my life truly had no purpose. Let me give you a piece of advice. When you're actually wanting to read a particular book, do some research. So I was happily reading Six of Crows. I was waiting for a very satisfying conclusion, and then I realized, wait, things just got really messed up right now. And there's just too much to wrap up and too little pages. So, what's going on here? Turns out Six of Crows has a sequel called Crooked Kingdom, and I did not know that. I mean, like, of course, it has a sequel. It had absolutely amazing world building, and it would be a waste to just use the entire world for just one book. I mean, I also know the Grisha trilogy exists, so it's basically set in the same world, but it's probably a different story. I don't know about that. I'll give you a review of it tomorrow because. Hey guys, it's day 7, I guess. About a week since I've actually started this vlog, and I have finished the 3 books, or maybe just 2.5 books, that I wanted to finish this week. And I think it's a pretty good start. I just finished Six of Crows yesterday, and let me tell you, I have not enjoyed a book as much as I've enjoyed this in a very long time. This book does what fantasy does best. It just whisks you away in a different land. I realized I never told you about the plot of this book. So this book is about 6 criminals going to a military stronghold that has never been breached and breaking in and retrieving a hostage or a prisoner and going back to their city in order to collect their reward. But are these 6 people enough to break into one of the most secure military strongholds of all time, which has never been breached before? Find out for yourself by reading The Six of Crows. I would recommend it. The world building was amazing. The characters were really funny. The romance, well, there wasn't much room for romance in this book, but the pairings are kind of cliche. But I absolutely loved how vividly the author explained the world, and it's just amazing. I would recommend it. I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I also like the fact that the protagonist was not all goody two shoes, but he was actually a very well thought out character, and I really enjoyed him better than any of the other characters, to be honest, which is a great thing to do because when you actually love the protagonist, you love the entire story that he's taking you on. Six of Crows made me realize that no matter how old you are, I think finding the right book makes you fall in love with reading all over again. With that, I wrap up my 1-week reading vlog. It was kind of a very chatty vlog, wasn't it? Anyway, I hope you had fun listening to my ramblings, and I will see you soon. Bye!